Hi, everyone. Warm welcome. This is our sessions that we have every Sunday. And so, just by way of introduction, some of you may be new to this group. So, Smita, Shubhra, and I, we started BZen. It's almost 2 years. And I wanted to, as I was sitting uh, and thinking about this, I wanted to reconnect with my intention for doing this. And I just want to share with you that my intention is to support everyone who comes into my presence, to help them release any inner struggles that they may be facing, and to remember and trust the inner wisdom that they already have. So that's my intention as I do this work and as we share what we have learned. And so I just wanted to start with recently I was coaching a client, and so I just want to share this little story about her. So she has come out of a very difficult marriage, a few years ago, and she, uh, you know, basically she's done a lot of work. She's done therapy, and tried to heal herself from whatever the trauma was. And so but there was something she was going through. And so as we go and look at the specific what comes up when we create space for something like this. So she noticed that there's a part of her that's always trying to fix things, set boundaries, make sure that now she in a new relationship she handles the situation correctly. And she describes this part of her as she calls it a litigator part, who's always very argumentative, defensive, and always trying to make a case about different situations in her life. And so she began to see that underneath this part there's a lot of fear and confusion. And also she then notice that there is resistance to be with that confusion, that whenever there is confusion we want to get out of it very quickly. We don't want to stay in a confused state. And um, and as we work further we see there is a belief that was sitting under all of that. And the belief was something like that: I can't fail again. If I get into another relationship I can't fail, I can't. So I'm just muting everybody. So later, if when we discuss, I will unmute everybody. So, like I was saying, so she had this part that I can't fail, I cannot disappoint myself, and and then this litigative part of her is very alert. It's always preparing. What's the next argument? What do I have to say? And what happens with something like this, and we often have parts like this in ourselves. Our mind is always thinking of, if this happens then I will do this, and if somebody says this I will, and that's a protective part of us that's trying to keep us safe because something has happened in our past. And so as we sat with it, she began to recognize that while this part is a protective part, but it's a part which is always keeping her in a very a lot of being vigilant, being careful all the time. And it's exhausting. It's just very tiring to keep staying with that in that state. And so she began to sense that that this part didn't need to actually work so hard, that the protection doesn't have to come from always thinking about an argument or what will happen, what will I say. Because when we question the belief that, she questioned the belief that, uh, you know, can I really never fail again? Because that fear was so strong that I cannot fail at this again. I cannot fail in another relationship again. And then it began to soften, it began to loosen. And what emerged for her eventually, the shift was towards a more like a mothering energy, is what she described. It's something that's loving, nurturing and caring, which is still protective, like how a mother can be protective, but not exhausting all the time, arguing all the time, making defenses and putting up defenses. So, and so it was just a very interesting thing for me to see that how we can shift sometimes a pattern of, how we are connecting with our thoughts and the relationship or whatever that's the fear that we have, how we can put some space around that. And when we question our beliefs, how that can, that brings space, and then it feels a kinder way of relating to our own selves. So I just wanted to, share that, and we'll quite quickly get into Rigpa. So that's the topic that I chose. Rigpa was a course actually Nitya had offered, and so the common thing is that Smita, Shubhra, and we all have been students of Nitya for many years. Nitya Shanti, and I guess many of you are familiar with Nitya. So he had a course, I think in about 2018, he started a 3-year, 3-month, 3-day course, which was called Rigpa. And that was my first real entry into, this kind of meditation and world of spirituality, really. So the definition of that or the meaning of it is the sky-like open awareness, and which is unaffected by everything that comes and goes. And so that was the description he had shared, and it felt so appealing to me that that is what I really wanted in my life at that time when I was really struggling with so much, internal turmoil. And I really wanted to connect with that part of me, which is the awareness that I really wondered, is there something that can be unaffected by everything that comes and goes? So, and so what happens is in many meditation practices, we have an object. We either focus on a mantra or the breath, or, we pick something, and then the meditation is to keep bringing ourselves back to it. But what we are here exploring is, this is a tradition of open awareness. So it's not a concentration on a specific topic. It's not a concentration for, that we focus on one thing. It's the awareness that's already here before before any effort that we are putting, before the thoughts, before the emotions, the sensations, everything that's here. It's like the screen, or when they say it's like the sky. So the sky can have a huge thunderstorm, it can have, you know, very extreme heat from the sun. And and after all of that, if when the thunder and the storm passes, the sky is just the way it was. Even through it and even after it, it's just unaffected. There doesn't, it doesn't get scarred, it doesn't get in any way, left with, something happens and then because how we otherwise react is, okay, now this happened, this situation happened, and I'm left with all this trauma, and I'm left with all this. And so if we can connect with that awareness without fixing, without judging, without uh, trying to push anything away, then that's a very beautiful thing to connect with. And through this meditation, this practice today, we're trying to get in touch with that part of us. And so the attention is not on one thing. And so for this, as we begin, you could have your eyes open if you like, or you could close your eyes. Either way is fine. Mostly in meditation, many of us like to close our eyes because it's just a more, uh, we feel that there's less stimulation, less external something coming at us. So you could, whatever way you feel comfortable, and just take a minute to be fully present here.
Can you repeat The process, sorry, I lost in between.
So I'm saying we are just starting now,
Yeah.
Jayashri. So I said you could leave your eyes open if you like, or just lower your gaze. Because this one we are not focusing on a particular object. We are not saying, okay, focus on your breath. We are not saying focus on anything. So it's just a very open awareness, and you could have your eyes open, but I was saying many of us like to keep our eyes closed because uh, just with it's just less stimulation when we close our eyes, but you could choose that. And just allow the body to be as it is. You feel the weight of your body as it's supported. And there's nothing really we need to adjust or change because awareness is already here. Begin to notice there might be some sounds, there may be sensations that you'll notice. And we could be aware of our breath. It's just without effort. We're not saying, bring your attention back to the breath. Whatever's arising, we just let it arise. If thoughts arise, we let thoughts arise. It's just creating a little more spaciousness to notice this awareness. Awareness doesn't really choose, it doesn't prefer one experience over another. It's the mind that has preferences. Awareness is just witnessing whatever is. Just notice whatever is coming up. And you don't need to necessarily name it, not trying to improve it. There's just a knowing of what's coming. Perhaps a thought might come, which could be something like, "Oh, am I doing this correct? I should be more calm while I'm here, or I should be, this way or that way." And that's a tightening, that's a pushing away of something. And that's what we call in Buddhism the second arrow, what the Buddha called the second arrow, the reaction to whatever's already here. The first arrow is the experience, simply an experience. If there's like a pain I'm experiencing, or if there's a confusion, or if there is a sensation, that is the first arrow. The second arrow that we add is the resistance, the judgment, the need to quickly fix it, or the urge to escape it. So just notice if there is just the first experience as it is, or is there something that I'm judging, something I'm adding to it? So here we are not even trying to remove the second arrow. We are not saying don't have a judgment. If there is a judgment, we just know that there is a judgment. If an impatience arises, we're impatient, then we just know that there is impatience. So we're noticing that awareness doesn't argue with whatever is appearing. It's just, it will include it, will allow whatever is there. And now see if you can sense the difference between this is my experience, this is what is, and this is the second layer of the judgment that's coming. You may notice some moments of not knowing, like like the same thing. Is this right? Is my experience all right? Is this how I'm supposed to feel in meditation? There may be like that little confusion or a little uncertainty. See if you can even allow that. Can rest with this confusion, with this not knowing. Not knowing doesn't need to be changed right now. Our awareness is always here. Even when the mind doesn't have answers, there is a witnessing presence which is watching the confusion. There's confusion. We don't need to understand it or to push it away, but just notice any of it as a passing cloud. A cloud can just be passing through the sky. The sky is just present to that. If you notice yourself, no, I'm trying to meditate or I'm trying to do this right. See if you can relax that effort a little. Because awareness is already here, doesn't need effort. We can just rest in this knowing, in this including whatever is present. Just this came, and yes, and this, then this thought came. So we're just including it all. We rest here, we let any experiences come and go on their own. Even having a wish for something to change, a wish for something more, let that also be included. Wishing for something, desiring something, that's also included. Awareness includes that. So, what we've been resting in is not something that we created, it's natural awareness. Before any thoughts, before any judgments, before trying to understand, to make sense of things, for any of that, this natural awareness is who we are. This is our true nature. Notice that awareness doesn't start or stop. It's not that just we are in this practice and we're doing this and we're sitting here and that's why there is awareness. This awareness is there with us at any time, wherever we've gone. If we just take a pause and listen, we'll notice the sounds, we'll notice the sensations. Whatever is there, awareness is always present to any of that. And it's possible for us to create this space at any time and connect with this. The idea of this is not to have awareness while we're in a meditation, in a practice. The idea is to keep coming back to this and keep connecting to this at any time. This is always present, it's always there with us. Just as we go out anywhere, travel, we do any of that, but then we eventually want to go back home. And that home feels like a refuge. Whenever we've, gone on a trip, traveled, we come back home, then there is a different feeling of like a different way of relaxing that like I'm home now. This is my refuge. If we can have this sense about this awareness, this presence, that wherever I have gone, I've gone on a spin, I have been thinking, I have, a lot of emotions came up, overthinking happened, some major argument happened. But I can come back to this. I can come back to this awareness that's present, that's here before fixing, judging. And as we gently begin to come back, notice that this is not ending. The awareness is not ending. The sounds will return, thoughts may begin again. This awareness is always here. And you don't have to kind of hold on to it. This is something you can come back to. And not by so much by effort, by making effort, more by remembering. We can remember to keep coming back to this. We can always remember that this is who we are, not something that we occasionally visit. This awareness is my true nature. And then we may forget, and maybe a long time before we remember again, but it will always be here. If you could just connect to this even for a millisecond, microsecond, and you've at least touched this awareness, and you know you can come back to it. So we can take some time, and whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes and always remember that you can carry this knowing with you and keep remembering whenever you need it, it's always here. So you know, so I've had a cough. It's just coming back now. Yes, Jayashri, let me unmute you. I think you can unmute yourself.
Yeah, I did it. Yes. Thank you, Puneet. It was really good. Because last 2 3 days I have put alarm at 1 p.m. to take a pause,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and then only for 5 minutes. So I put the next alarm for 6 minutes. Like 1 6 p.m. and sit, just sit, not trying to do or correct anything inside. Just see what's happening, like. But it wasn't happening. So every time I would like to correct something, and then I had to remind myself, no, just sit, just sit. So,
And that's so powerful to just allow it. Yeah,
yeah. And it's so difficult. So,
it is.
because every time the mind is always wanting to correct things. We want to do right things, not this way. This is the correct thing. I want to be perfect in everything. So many things come up when at least I take a pause. It's just 3 days that it has happened, but uh, today, because you were taking it through, it was very easy. Your voice was again reassuring. Yes, I am safe. More, it's about sometimes there's anxiety to do the best and be the best, and uh, you know, uh, some so many thoughts goes on. Mind, it's crazy confusion. But yes, thank you so
And
much.
I love that, making like setting an alarm to, middle of your day, just take that pause. That is very powerful because, it's really a way of creating space in your day and then allowing, like whatever is, even if it's
Yeah,
wanting to be more, wanting to do something,
yeah. That's
even
what
that.
Nitya shared us. We are doing that course in blessings. So in that he had mentioned that, take a pause. So I was trying, but it wasn't happening, and I was thinking, why is it not happening? Then I thought, why not put an alarm and see? So first day I put alarm only for 1 p.m. But then I didn't know when to get up. Like I saw it
Mhm.
was only 3 minutes. I said, oh, I couldn't even sit for one. So that was
That's fine. 3 minutes is good. Starting with 3 minutes is very good.
but yeah, thank you so much for taking me through this. I really mean it.
Sure.
Thank, thank you.
Neelu?
थैंक यू पुनीत। मेरे कुछ डाउट्स थे, मैंने पर्सनली मैसेज भी किया था। ऑब्जर्वेशन विदाउट द ऑब्जर्वर, तो बहुत अच्छे तरीके से क्लैरिटी हुई है मुझे। और जनरली ऐसा लग रहा है कि मतलब ऐसा हमारा मानना हो रहा था कि ये कुछ ऐसी चीज़ है जिसको हमें कुछ करना और अचीव करना है, लेकिन यहाँ पे कुछ ऐसा है नहीं। अब पता नहीं कुछ ऐसा हो रहा है कि जितनी भी नॉलेज है, जो सब चीज़ें हैं, वो सब चीज़ें अपने आप छूट रही हैं, लेकिन कुछ एक ऐसी चीज़ है जो अनडिफाइनेबल है, जिसको ओपन अवेयरनेस कहें या क्या है, वो है बस। तो मेरे कुछ डाउट्स थे और बहुत अच्छे तरीके से क्लैरिटी हुई है कि जो व्हाट इज़ है, मतलब हम कहते हैं ना लविंग व्हाट इज़, जो है करके, लेकिन उसके साथ जो आपने लेयर्स हैं उनको भी इंक्लूड किया है, उस अवेयरनेस का पार्ट है वो। मतलब अवेयरनेस इंक्लूड कर रही है उन एक्सपीरियंसेस के साथ जो हमारी लेयर्स हैं उनको भी, विदाउट जस्टिफिकेशन एंड कंडेमिनेशन। तो ये बहुत सुंदर है। अब पता नहीं कुछ ऐसा शिफ्ट हो रहा है, जैसे हम लोग अभी सेशंस ले रहे हैं, मॉर्निंग पेजेस भी चल रहा है कुछ करके। बस ऐसा रह रहा है कि कुछ सब चीज़ें बैक एंड पे है, बट कुछ ऐसी चीज़ है जो हमारे इस मतलब इस नोइंग के प्लेस से कुछ हट के कुछ चल रहा है। तो अभी तो मैं इतना ही कह सकती हूँ, लेकिन थैंक यू सो मच जो चीज़ अभी हमने शेयर करी है। और ये शायद आधे घंटे की या 2 घंटे की या 1 घंटे की नहीं है, बिकॉज़ ये कोई हमारा पाथ नहीं है कि हमें आज यहाँ से जाना है और यहाँ से जाना है। ये मतलब फैक्ट टू फैक्ट या मोमेंट बाय मोमेंट जीने की बात है। ये चीज़ मुझे समझ आई है, तो बहुत सुंदर है। थैंक यू सो मच। और जितने भी मतलब शुभ्रा भी है यहाँ पे, तो मैं बहुत दिल से थैंक यू करना चाहती हूँ, क्योंकि इतने पता नहीं क्या भर भर के हमारे पास झोलियों में आ रहा है इस शेयर योर गिफ्ट से। तो थैंक यू सो मच, थैंक यू, थैंक्स अ लॉट।
This is such a beautiful platform, actually. So many people, now have connected with us जो नहीं थे बीजन में, and we are very happy के to share this, because we have been sharing and then more people connect who who for whom this is something that is valuable. So क्योंकि because for us it's a part of, like I said, the intention is कि we share, and then it's something जो what we have learned, it also keeps us in the right frame while sharing. Like the best way to learn is to teach. So that's the intention, really.
थैंक यू, थैंक यू।
Thank you, Pravina, Rajiv. Yes, from awareness to the awareness of the one that's aware. Yes, and then just nothingness. Thank you, Nidhi, Sapna. Thank you. Vivek, yes, you can unmute.
Yes, I'm audible.
Yes.
Thank you so much for this session. I had two queries. One is something which Nitya ji even told us with respect to Sthita Pragya.
Hmm.
So, how is this different from that Sthita Pragya or open awareness which I learned from Nitya? I think possibly we all learned from Nitya, wherein we just need to keep our eyes open and just have an open awareness of whatever we are seeing or whatever we are thinking. So how is this meditation different? And second part was that if my attention gets fixated to a particular sound or to a particular scene, if I keep my eyes open, whether that's all right or not. So these are my two questions, and thank you so much for this meditation.
Thank you. You're welcome, Vivek. So, in my mind, I think Sthita Pragya is very similar. It's quite similar in the sense Sthita Pragya would be like equanimity, right? The state of equanimity where you're not being affected by what is happening, the things that are coming and going, the things that are changing, the ups and downs of life. So, to stay in that state of equanimity, in my mind, I think that would be Sthita Pragya, to आप स्थित हैं उस सिचुएशंस में आने जाने में. बट आई थिंक वो गीता से है. आई एम नॉट एन एक्सपर्ट, बट आई थिंक इट्स इन माय माइंड इट्स वेरी सिमिलर. And to your second question, of that, if you can just sit and watch something, that's fine too,
Yes.
whatever focus is on. But the only thing is, in this practice, we are not efforting to make something focus on something. So it's not a concentration practice in that sense.
Okay.
We are just open attention में जो भी आ रहा है, whatever's coming in my attention right now, and it doesn't have to be. So I'm just allowing it to come, and I'm not trying to change whatever's coming. I'm just noticing.
So if the attention goes to sweet sound or sweet music being played around, or some beautiful scenery in front of my eyes, and
Yes.
so that is okay.
Yes, because that's you're including that. That's your experience right now, right? Because the practice is कि when you start including everything in your experience, you're just connecting with that. Excuse me. You're connecting with that awareness. Okay, this comes, this goes, this comes, this goes, right? That sweet sound, you will listen and थोड़ी देर तक आपकी attention उस पे रहेगी, फिर वो हमेशा नहीं रहेगी. So then again, you're back to that noticing, कि हाँ, that's, I was aware of that sweet sound and now I'm not aware of that. बीच में कुछ thought आ जाएगा, बीच में something else will come up, right?
Got it.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
you're welcome. All right, that's wonderful sharings, and thank you everybody for joining. Really appreciate. And we have this every Sunday, almost sometimes if there is some travel or something, but between me, Smita, and Shubhra, we have every Sundays at 7:30 India time. All right. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Puneet.
Thank you.